What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. If you want to see that daily Ravens content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the notification bell as well if you want to get notified every single time I put a brand new video. It's Monday. It's Mock Draft Monday. It's also Super Bowl week. A lot of things going on. And I just finished this mock draft. I've fallen in love with the prospect, guys. I have found somebody that I think is an absolute gem. It's been a while. I haven't been able to find somebody. I found guys that I really like, and I don't consider gems first round players. There's first round players that I love. I love guys like Cam Smith. I love Joey Porter Jr. But I found somebody in the day threes that I was like, oh, I was watching him, jaw dropped, and I was watching him. I was like, there's no way this guy is a day three player. But let me know in the comment section down below your mock drafts. Let me know your thoughts on the players that I select. If you say, hey, I don't like this player because of X, Y, or Z, I will read that and I will try and learn because, obviously, this is still the beginning of the off season. I've scouted, a lot of players. I've looked into a lot of wide receivers. Haven't gotten to all the wide receivers, haven't gotten to all the cornerbacks, haven't gotten to all the running backs, but I've watched a fair amount of them. All right. And so if I haven't watched a guy, bring him up. I know I still need to watch guys. I know a guy I need to watch still is Devin Witherspoon. I need to watch him. And I'm excited to watch him. He's somebody that you guys have brought up. I just haven't gotten around to it. I've been watching some other positions. But let's jump right into it. Let's talk about it. For round one. And for people that are new, every Monday, 7-round mock draft. I do not do any trades. I'm using the PFF draft simulator. I don't think it's very good. I do not recommend people using this thinking, wow, I'm going to be able to get this guy in the late rounds. No, probably not. It's not a very good tool. However, I think it's the best one available while the Draft Network's mock draft tool is being reconstructed. And so that's still in development again. But let's jump right into it. First overall, at 22 for the Baltimore Ravens, there were a few players available, and I got to watch somebody that I was looking forward to watching. Zay Flowers was available, and I was like, oh, man, I got to watch Zay Flowers because I haven't watched him yet. So I watched Zay Flowers, and I know a lot of people really love Zay Flowers. I don't know if I'm fully sold for the Baltimore Ravens. I think he's super good after the catch. If the Ravens brought in an offensive coordinator where I was confident, hey, they're going to get players open in space, then I'd be all in on Zay Flowers. However, indications are like, yeah, the Ravens want to keep their identity, which makes me wearisome to go after a player that's great after the catch because that's what the Ravens have done in the past. That's what they've done with a guy like Duvernay. Duvernay is very different. Duvernay is like very physical after the catch. Zay Flowers is just very twitchy and difficult to, wrangle down. But it wasn't anything crazy that I was watching like, oh my God, this guy has to be a Raven. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pass. I don't think he's a terrible player by any means. I think he's probably a late first player, maybe an early second. So I don't think it would be terrible value right there. I just don't love him for the Ravens. So I was like, okay, who else is available? They had JSN. He was available. They had Joey Porter Jr. Guys, I'm not taking Joey Porter Jr. at 22nd overall. I would take him in a heartbeat every single time. I just don't think there's a chance that Joey Porter Jr. goes past, I don't think he's going past 15. I doubt he goes past 10. So I was like, I just can't draft him. It's too much of a steal. I think it's too unrealistic. I don't want to get people's hopes up with me drafting players where it's like, oh my gosh, you're never going to get that guy. So I went with Cam Smith, cornerback out of South Carolina. I love Cam Smith. Cam Smith is physical, and he just plays at 120 miles an hour, attacks the ball, attacks ball carriers. This guy is going to be extremely physical. You can play him in the slot. You can play him outside. You can push him to safety on certain downs. He is going to wreak havoc in the NFL. I think he's maybe got the highest ceiling at the cornerback position in this draft. I love Cam Smith. Love that draft selection. Round 3, pick 86. If we go corner in the first round, you got to go wide receiver in the third round, unless the Ravens, make a signing. And so I was looking around and I was like, okay. And I was watching the guys, and, I don't know if I'm in love with this player. I drafted Cedric Tillman, wide receiver out of University of Tennessee. I don't hate him. I also don't love him. I think, him not playing all of last year makes it very difficult because, you're looking at older film, which is like he's playing with Velus Jones, who is, I believe, a 5th-round pick by the Chicago Bears. I know he plays for the Chicago Bears, but he was like 25 years old. He was an older guy. But Cedric Tillman, big body wide receiver. He can make jump ball catches. That's really what he does. Not crazy after the catch, doesn't have insane speed or athleticism, but he's a physical guy. Um, I don't think he would be a number one. I think he'd be a number two for Rashad Bateman. And I don't hate Cedric Tillman. I don't love him either. But I felt like, okay, I have to get a wide receiver. And of the players that were available, I felt like, okay, this is the guy. And it's annoying because I had a guy, the wide receiver out of Iowa State last week, and in the mock draft, and I was so excited about him. And the measurements from the Senior Bowl came back, and he's not 6'3". He is like 6'1", which is very difficult because he was not fast. And his name's Xavier Hutchinson, and he just wasn't fast. And I was like, man, if he was 6'3", it could work with his size, but it can't work with his smaller size. So unless he runs a really good 40, I don't think Xavier Hutchinson is going anywhere near round 3. I think he'll probably drop to like a round 6 pick. Next up, this is the guy. This is the guy that I watched. My mouth dropped when I watched him. He is a running back out of UAB. There were other running backs available, and I know that a lot of people are big fans of the other running backs available, like the running back out of Tulane. He was available, and I know he's a very good pass catcher. He's very shifty. I watched Dwayne McBride. This guy. Oh my goodness. This is a running back that plays like a Raven. Extremely physical, extremely difficult to bring down. Basically breaks the first tackle every single time he runs. He is not a pass catcher. This is the player that if the Ravens are looking at going into this year, they say we need to free up cap space. Who do you get rid of? The first name on the block is Gus Edwards. Like that's the easiest person to get rid of. How do you replace Gus Edwards? Dwayne McBride. This guy is an explosive runner. Now he doesn't get, 80-yard touch. Like he won't be getting 80-yard touchdown runs at the NFL level. However, he will be breaking tackles and getting you 15 to 20-yard runs. He is, you hit him and he will churn his legs and he will move you forward, not 1 yard. He will move you forward 5 yards and he will get into the end zone or he will get that first down. He's extremely physical. He's also pretty nimble on his feet, for a larger guy. I mean, he's 5'11", but he's a big guy. And you see plays where he's got great vision, especially when he's in the hole and when he's downfield at evading tacklers and just getting those extra yards. Dwayne McBride is going to make a general manager look very good, very good. Keep your eye out on him. He's not going to run a crazy 40, and typically when you're a running back, for people to start like hyping you up for the draft, it's typically like, oh, you had a great 40. And people go, oh, well, this guy, he ran 4.3. He's not running 4.3. Like, he's probably going to run like 4.5. But, man, is he difficult to bring down. And I think that's exactly what the Ravens could use behind a J.K. Dobbins. Again, I don't know if I necessarily want the Ravens to cut Gus Edwards, but I think it's the most practical thing to do, either cut or trade him, just because the Ravens need to reduce cap space or increase cap space, reduce cap spend. And so you can draft a running back. You can get rid of Gus Edwards, and Dwayne McBride is perfect for the Baltimore Ravens. I love this kid coming out of UAB. And he's a projected like 5th round pick. I drafted him in the 4th round, and I was like, this is a steal. I would draft him in the 3rd round. The reason why he's going that low is because he's playing against lower end competition. But come on. This guy's legit. Next up, I went really small school. I didn't notice that I went small school to end this draft. My day 3 is real small school. I went with an edge rusher out of Central Michigan. I went with Thomas Incoom. He is a large edge rusher that was able to get sack production. And at this point, again, I think there's 3 positions the Ravens need to address. I think it's corner, wide receiver, and halfback. They could address offensive line in the draft, but I was like, hey, this is a big-bodied edge rusher that can develop. The Ravens need to get guys on reserve if somebody gets injured, or if, down the line, get yourself a good pass rush room. We don't know exactly what the Ravens are going to be doing at the pass rusher position. So I felt like Thomas Incoom at a large frame with production and a, unbelievable engine, continuously attacking. He doesn't give up on the play. That's something that Ravens love. And Ravens fans love as well. And then final pick, round 6, pick 200. This is a theme. I love this guy. BJ Thompson played very well at the Shrine Bowl. He definitely stood out. And, this is an athletic freak. He is big, he is fast, he is strong. And again, he has sack production. It's one of the biggest things that I look at in an edge rusher right now because, yes, we can develop them, but we hope that they at least have a little bit of a base because I know a lot of people are upset with Adafe because he's not getting a ton of sacks yet. And it's like, well, he didn't get sacks his final year in college. He was drafted as a project in the first round. I'd rather draft a project in the sixth round. That's where BJ Thompson comes in. I'm a big fan of his, even bigger fan of Dwayne McBride. I believe they call him Debo, actually. That's what the announcers at least call him. But let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts. Is there a running back that you think I need to watch, instead of Dwayne McBride? Is there a round 3 wide receiver instead of Cedric Tillman that you guys really like? I know a lot of people are big fans of Tank Dell. I don't think he's going to round 3. Is there another cornerback that you think I should watch? I know Devin Witherspoon I need to watch. But let me know. Round 5, round 6 players as well. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content, and I will see all of you again tomorrow.